morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Take a Stand show. I'm your host, Tracy Wilson. Today, I want to talk about a really important topic, but before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about why you should be watching today. So often on this Take a Stand show, I will have women that will be joining me that will be sharing their inspiration, motivational or heartfelt story. And today we were going to hear from an amazing woman, but unfortunately she's not well today. So you're going to have me all on my lonesome, but she will definitely be back in the next couple of weeks when she's feeling a little bit better. So today's show, I wanted to talk about this. I named it like tap, tap. Are you ready? But also, who is it that you are allowing? Who are you allowing your life and your dreams and your success to actually be dictated by? So I want you to hold that thought. I want you to hold that question in the front of your mind as I spend this time with you today. So I might be here for 15 to 20 minutes and we'll just see where this conversation goes. But I want you to contemplate this question because it's a really, really important one. So here's what I've noticed. So over the last few weeks, I have been interviewing women from all over the world. And as most of you know, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I've recently released a book called The She Myth that I co-wrote with another very special woman, Vicky Helm. And as a result of us writing that book, I created a series called the She Myth Eliminator series. And it's given me an opportunity to really start talking with women from all over the world, all different walks of life, all different cultures and backgrounds. And it has become apparent to me the things that we spoke about in the book are absolutely being echoed by these women that I've been speaking to. And I named this, or I wanted this question here today in terms of who are you allowing to dictate your success and the direction of your life? Because what I had noticed was that in a lot of cases, as I'm talking to women, they go through life, and until such time as they kind of have this aha moment of hang on, or an oh heck moment is probably more like it, where they think, shit, I'm not in the place that I want to be. My life is not panning out how I want it to be. And they have that kind of come to, what do they call it? Come to Jesus moment where they're like, I need to do something about this. This is what I have heard them all say is along their journey in life, they start out and they start doing things because they're doing things to please other people. And in our book, in the She Myth book, we talk about this a lot in terms of it being what we call the silent saboteurs. And often as women, we don't even realize that this stuff is going on because we grow up in the society, we are starting, and they become the societal norms, and we start to realize or be conditioned to be put in our place. And if you think about the society, as a whole, and where the woman's place is, it is always, or has certainly been for many decades, in the secondary role. Okay, what do I mean by the secondary role? Well, if you think about being a mother and being at home, and all of us will, some of you will be going, I mean, heck no, Trace, that's not a secondary role. We're blooming out there and we should be the primary role. Yeah, for sure. But the reality is that these roles that we take on and that we succumb to as women are secondary. And if you look at all of the statistical data will tell you that because we get paid less, we're unlikely to retire with the same amount of money as our male counterparts. There's a whole lot of things that are the outcomes of us being put into, unknowingly or unwittingly, being put into these secondary roles. So being a mum at home, which is an extremely important role. But a lot of people would say, well, you're just a mum at home. And I'm actually reiterating to you now some of the things that I'm hearing from women over and over and over again as I've been interviewing them. Now, as we start to take these secondary roles and we start to have been conditioned to being put in these secondary roles and being quite comfortable and thinking that that's the place that we should be in, over time, you start, as a woman, you start to lose yourself. And again, these are the things that I'm hearing from the women that I've been interviewing. This is what they are telling me, and it's being echoed over and over again. And there are some clear patterns that I'm seeing, and there are things that I'm hearing as to how women have started to overcome certain things. So I want to talk about these silent saboteurs. So it might even be things like, you sitting, waiting for somebody else to tap, tap, tap you on the shoulder to say you are good enough to speak out. You are good enough to take on, you're good enough to apply for that job. You are good enough now to apply for a promotion. You are good enough now to do whatever the case may be. So in a lot of situations, women are sitting back and we're waiting for other people to give you permission. And so this is what I mean when I'm saying, asking you the question, who is it or what is it that you are allowing to dictate where you go in life, to dictate what success in your life looks like or what your dream life looks like, right? So if you think back to being a young girl and maybe, what did that start looking, what was your life supposed to look like for you? Were you supposed to finish college, go and get a degree, then get married, have children, blah, 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 all of those things? And have you been following all of that because that's the norm? But somewhere deep down inside you, there's a little girl saying you wanted to do something different. You had bigger dreams. You want to do, you want to do, I don't know, whatever the dream is for you, that you wanted to do that. And you're not doing it because you've been waiting for permission to take your seat at the table. So part of today's conversation is to get you to start thinking about that question. Who is it or what is it in your life that has been holding you back from really taking that leap forward, standing up and standing firm on what it is that you truly want, being authentic to yourself, and then doing the things that you want to do so that you actually become happy. Now, today's conversation has come by two parts because over the last few weeks, as you know, I've mentioned I've been doing these conversations with women, but also a little closer to home, I've been having some other conversations with people that are a lot closer in my life. And one of the conversations in the last few weeks said something like this. And this person was not real happy when they were talking about it, that they had, they were unhappy because they had no money. And this person was frustrated because her message to me was then, but everybody else thinks that I've got loads of money and that I'm rich and that I should just be able to give to everybody else. And often we go through life thinking that we have to put on this facade and we have to do certain things and be certain ways because other people have this expectation. And as I continue to talk with this person, we soon realize that actually wasn't an expectation of other people. It was actually an expectation that she had been playing over and over and over in her head for a very, very long time. And now, because she wasn't in a position any longer where she had loads of money to be able to divvy it out to every man and sundry and be able to do all the wonderful things that she's been able to do in the past, she had attached her self-worth and her happiness with the amount of money that she had in that moment. And so one of the things that I wanted to, there's a multitude of things that are probably preventing you from being the person that you want to be or living the life that you want to have. And my message to you now is to get you to really think deeply about this. Are you living your authentic life? Are you living the life that you want? And if you're not, what is it going to take for you to live the life of your dreams? Is it money? And you'll probably find it's not, right? Because as I've just expressed to you, this person had said to me they had loads of money at one point. Were they completely happy then? No. Now they don't have a lot of money and now they're even more unhappy. So money doesn't always equate to happiness. Happiness, as my husband often says, is an attitude. And we have the choice of being able to wake up in the morning and have the attitude that we want to be happy. So if you can adopt that and you're living your authentic, who you are, who you want to be, you are living your dream. You might not have it all right now, but you are working your way towards it. And you can create a life that you're actually feeling really happy with. And you disassociate your happiness with money or with the things that you have, or with somebody else saying, tap, 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 it's your turn, you can go now, you can speak up, then you will start living the life that you are meant to live, which is, as I say on my other show, being unlocked, feeling like you matter, feeling like you're worthy, feeling like you've got something to offer. All of those things you all have now, and you do not need to wait for somebody else to tell you that it is your time. You are the person that decides that it is your time. The other thing that I wanted to talk about in this session today is also often we go through life, and this is what I'm speaking from experience. We go through life and often we look to our parents because we want their approval, and we want their, we want them to be proud of what you're doing. And sometimes that need or that want for other people's approval, whether it be your parent, your spouse, your children, your friends, your family, whoever it may be, often prevents you from moving forward because you're fearful of what it is that they might think, or what it is that they might do, that they may think that you're being like, who do you think you are, getting on here and speaking to a lot of people and talking about, your thoughts and your position on things. Who do you think you are doing that? And so when you're constantly seeking approval from the external sources, that also allows you to bring in that fear and doubt, and it often will prevent you from, again, living out your life that you want. So in today's Take a Stand show, I just wanted to talk about those few things, give you some insight into the conversations that I've been having with other women elsewhere, in the hope that maybe some of these things that I've talked about today might resonate with you, and that the question that I've given you will give you an opportunity to contemplate that, to really think about, are you allowing your happiness and your success and your life to be dictated by others or by other forces? And if that is so, now is the day that you can start thinking about it and actually make a change. Make a change to what it is that you want, and start thinking about internally what makes you happy. So now I want to just read a couple of passages from the book that Vicky Helm and I have written, and also give you a bit of insight as to why I think, you should read it, because I'm a bit biased because I was one of the people that wrote it, so I think it's a fabulous book. But one of the reasons you should absolutely read this book is because often as women, and men too, this is also, even though it's titled The She Myth, it's a fabulous book for men to read too, because you will have daughters, you will have sisters, you will have wives, etc. So it'll give you some real good insight. But this is actually going to help you to rewrite the unhealthy stories that have been going around in your head for a long, long time. And if you're anything like the other women that I've been speaking to, a lot of them are telling me that these stories have been going on their heads for decades, right? And it's been preventing them from moving forward. So if you read this book, it's really going to help you to rewrite the unhealthy stories that have been keeping you from turning your dreams into a reality. Now, our mission with this book is we want you to imagine this. We want you to imagine a world where women were actually valued in business as much as our male counterparts. Because the truth is that women around the world actually work harder than men to achieve the same things, because we have to go through so many more obstacles, and yet we're still not appreciated for the work and the contributions that we make. And in fact, our contributions that women make are often discounted for so long that we start to undervalue ourselves. So these are some of the things that we're talking about in the book. That is our mission. We want you to read the book. We want you to understand true leadership skills and what it takes to be a true leader, and how you can step into that role immediately and stop creating these workarounds that keep us in a secondary role, create the workarounds to appease everybody else whilst pushing yourself down. This book will help you to understand who you are, who you are inside, bring out your authenticity, and then also give you some very, very discerning business skills and acumen to enable you to navigate the world of business in a very controlled, concise, and confident way. So today, guys, I want to leave you with that. And like I said, the question for today is, what or who are you allowing to control the success and the dreams of your life? Who are they being dictated by? Are you in control of that, or are you allowing other people to control it for you? So that being said, I want to say thank you very much for listening today or watching. You can also download this as a podcast version if you'd like to listen along to some of the things that I've got to talk about, or you would like to listen to some of the other fabulous women that I'm going to have on the show. You can also go and get it on your favorite podcast channel, or you can head on over to tracymwilson.com and you can also listen to it on my website. But I want to thank you very much for joining today. Go out there, take a stand for yourself. Be firm in what it is that you believe in and start standing out in the best way you know how, by being authentically you. So I'll see you again, same time next week, Thursday, 10 a.m. Brisbane time. Bye for now.